Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Maddie. This is The Short Stop, a student-produced podcast here at WJ. This week, we're going to be sitting down with a junior. Her name is Jaidan Inniss. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, so today I'm here with Jaidan. Jaidan, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jaidan Inniss. I'm a junior.
The question we're going to ask you today is, what do you want people to know about you based on the way that you're perceived that they might not necessarily know?
I think it would be that I've struggled a lot with my identity, especially in the recent years since starting high school. Since my father is African American and my mother is mixed, I am light-skinned, but I still think of myself as black, but a lot of people have their own opinion on what being black means, and I've been called like an Oreo, or they have this perception of what being black is that I don't fit into, so I always thought, I'm not black. I must not be black. I don't fit into that stereotype. But yeah, since starting high school, I've been struggling with that because, I don't fit into that category. But I've been accepting it a lot more because my friends that I've made now don't put me into that box.
Do you think people put like a strong emphasis on race and like identifying with one particular race?
I think so, because people always tell me, the way that you speak is so white, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means. Just because I speak correctly and educated, I don't understand. Or they say I'm not black enough, or I'm like, and I don't understand what that means either, just because I don't listen to rap music or do anything that they check as being black. I don't really think there's a box for either, and I feel like everyone's free to embrace pieces of everything as long as it makes them happy. Like, I love rock music and I love hip-hop at the same time. I love art and I love fashion. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, no, you sound like you're a music person. How did you get interested in music and art? Like, how did that come into your life?
My father's an artist, so I've been painting and making art since I can remember, and music didn't really become a huge part of my life until middle school, when I found out who Led Zeppelin was, and they're my favorite band. So I started to appreciate more lyrics, and it helped me through a rough time in middle school when I was going through my depression, and still now with my social anxiety.
And can you elaborate a little bit, if you're comfortable, just in terms of mental illness and music and art kind of are things that I think a lot of people associate with them, because a lot of famous musicians and famous artists have people found out afterwards that they suffered from anxiety, they suffered from depression, they suffered from BPD, and I think we're trying to reduce the stigma around that. If you want to speak to your own experiences.
Yeah. Of course, and the thing with art and music is that I used to not be good at talking about my feelings at all. So to be able to express that without having to be verbal about it was a huge part in recovering from it as well, because I couldn't tell people what I was going through, but if I could show them, they would have some idea, and then we could move on from there. And I think, social anxiety is something that I still definitely struggle with now. I think that's another thing that people wouldn't know just by looking at me, because I try and to show myself to be someone confident or just comfortable in their skin, but I'm nervous half of the time just walking around the school. Even on the first day of school, still I get nervous, even though I've been going to school with these people for years, even since elementary school. But yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, thanks so much for tuning in this week. I hope you enjoyed listening to Jaidan tell a little side of her story and what she's experienced as a high school student. If you are looking for my old podcasts, you can find them on thepitch.com. And if you're interested, or if you know anybody that is especially younger, so freshmen and sophomores, I would love to talk to you. Please reach out. I'd love to sit down with some more kids that I haven't met before. If you just DM me on Instagram or go to The Pitch and tell Miss Borelli you'd like to be interviewed for the Short Stop podcast, that would be awesome. Thanks, and see you next Friday.